ilma. I thought I will talk today, inshallah, about Zakat. The first 10 days passed, and now we are in the second 10 days, and probably the time when you need to go and calculate how much money you had last Ramadan. And if it is more than £4,100, and you still have more than £4,100, you will need to pay Zakat, which is 2.5%, which tend to be, with the 4,000, you just pay £25 per £1,100. Zakat is one of the very important article of Islam, one of the main pillars of Islam, after believing in La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah and establishing Salah. And Zakat is the survivor of the nation. Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم خذ من أموالهم صدقة تطهرهم وتزكيهم بها وصل عليهم إن صلاتك سكن لهم والله سميع عليم. So it's an order from Allah Azza wa Jalla to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam to take, saying take from their money sadaqah, which is sadaqah, sadaqat lil fuqara wal masakin, zakah called sadaqah when it comes to the obligation, purify them and clean them and purify them and build them up with it, and pray to Allah Azza wa Jalla to forgive them, wa salli alayhim, because your salah, your prayer to Allah Azza wa Jalla to forgive them, give them a lot of comfort, sakanun lahum, and Allah all hearing and all knowledgeable and the most wise. The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ explain it. Obviously there is a lot of hadith, but I chose this hadith for a purpose. At-Tabarani narrated in Al-Awsat wal-Saghir عن علي كرم الله وجهه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن الله فرض على أغنياء المسلمين في أموالهم بقدر الذي يسع فقراءهم ولن يجهد الفقراء إذا جاعوا أو عروا إلا بما صنع أغنياؤهم ألا وإن الله يحاسبهم حسابا شديدا ويعذبهم عذابا أليما. So this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah obliged on the rich of the Muslims, the rich Muslims, to pay out of their money, which is going to be enough to provide the needs of their poor one. And the poor one will not suffer, and when they become hungry or lack of clothing, they wouldn't go through this unless the rich are not paying the zakah. And Allah will bring them into the account, and it will be severe account, and Allah will punish them severely. And the punishment in the Day of Judgment is actually before anyone goes to paradise or hell. It's in the mahshar. So why we need to pay zakah? In fact, we cannot not pay zakah, otherwise the whole system, financial system, will be destroyed. There will be a lot of hunger and a lot of rich people around. Why we need money? Obviously, I'll put on the chart here behind me. There's a lot of people who are, we need money to give the poor and the needy. And the government employ people to collect zakah, employ people to do a lot of service to the public. You have to support and the people who go bankrupt, businesses and things need to support them, so we keep businesses progressing. Otherwise, if all companies close, then there will be no manufactured goods, everybody will suffer. Obviously, we need money for defense, for education, for infrastructure of the country, to free slaves, no slaves now, to provide the homeless and needy passing by, to protect or support the health. And there's always a lot of disabled, a lot of children need money, a lot of learning disability need money, physically disabled or mentally disabled. And there's people who are mentally ill, will never be able to work properly. And there's a lot of women could be having children, breastfeeding, looking after toddlers. The government needs a lot of money to support the community to survive. So the only way is to take money. Islam with the venues where money comes from. So money in Islam comes from Zakat, the 2.5%, 5% for agriculture, 10% if it's watered by the rain only. Obviously, take 2.5% of the live cattle as well. And the Zakat al-Fitr to give money to the poor. Qurbani, Udhiyah. People leave wasiyah, 1/3 of their money. People have to pay fines, kafarat. They get money from there. Fidya, people who can't fast Ramadan. There's a lot of redistribution of wealth through the inheritance. Was owned by one person. Once he dies, the money distributed between most of the family, the immediate family, and then you go to distant family. And the resources which come to the country, 20% come straight into the expenses of the government, and that's in when they find metals, when they find oil in the ground, they find these farms, lands owned by Muslims. The Prophet ﷺ used to employ the Jew to cultivate the land and look after the date trees, and they pay a percentage of it. And rich to fund certain activities. If we don't have this, what we will do, the system now we have is completely different. Now, government get money to fund all these needs in the other side through either taxes or they reduce the services. They call it austerity measures. Increasing tax is not popular. Reducing services, austerity not popular. Increasing interest was killing the industry. Islam said there should be 0% interest. They reduced interest to zero, near zero. Still, the economy is not running, or they still need money and they can't get it. Obviously, they used to get money from interest. Now they're getting nothing from interest. Or they borrow money. They keep borrowing money. Like America borrowed 23 trillion now. They pay interest 2%. The value of the dollar dropped by 3% every year. They make money of the debt. But that is not enough to satisfy the need. So they found an easy way, which is printing money. They print money so they don't have to raise taxes. They don't have to reduce the services. They don't have to increase the interest. They don't need to borrow. They just print their own money. Who will say no to them? The Federal Reserve doing it, Bank of England doing it, ECB doing it, all the countries doing it. The clever one who does it without being affected, but the cleverest is America, because their dollar is still in demand, because it is the monetary system, the monetary money. People need to buy dollars to buy oil, to buy cars, to transfer money from place to place. They're buying the shares in America. Printing money, the problem is that you dilute the value of the money. So if you go to buy in 1920, the dollar, let's say, will buy you a jug of, or let's say the dollar is a jug of orange juice, but they needed to print more money. They kept diluting the orange juice with water. Now you will find with every 100 jug of orange juice, 99 jug is water and 1 jug is orange juice. It's very, very diluted. They said each dollar now is equal to 1 cent in 1920. The other countries printing the money, obviously they haven't got the mentality how to keep the value of their money. So they print whenever they want to increase the wages, whenever they want to go to war, whatever, when they want to collect more money, they print more money. They can't even force down the tax. If Western countries, taxpayers run away and go and buy islands and live in it, they don't pay tax. Third world countries, they can't even collect the tax. So, but if you go to a country like Syria, where I was born, the one Syrian lira used to be equal to 20 euro. At that time, French franc. Now they kept diluting the orange juice by printing more money, that every 70,000 liter of orange juice is 1 liter of orange juice and 70,000 liters of water. Now, the 1 Syrian lira is equal to 1,500. So, sorry, the other way around. Can't even imagine it. The one euro equal to 1,500 Syrian lira. The other way around. Used to be more expensive than the French franc, which is now the euro. Now it is 1 out of 1,500. This is where the 70 liters came from. They kept diluting the orange juice until there is no orange juice at all. You can, when we came to Britain in 1982, we used to exchange every pound sterling equal to 8 Syrian lira. Now it is 1,600 Syrian lira, or nearly 1,650. Today's money, Syrian lira. So you can buy, my wage in 1976, I used to get 600 Syrian lira per month. Now the whole month wage is not enough to buy one punch of parsley or one cucumber the whole month, because they kept diluting the value. Government will keep printing money, like it or not, because this is the way they survive these days. They cause superinflation, become the value of their money become near zero, and the government fail, and the demonstration come out, and the fight, and civil war, and corruption, and everything. There's no way out of Islamic way, because you will get money. Always you get money every year to fund this. If you don't get the money from Zakat, government will print money, everybody lose out. The value of the money of everyone is lost. When there is war, when the Prophet ﷺ want to go to Tabuk, he raised the money. And it's known at that time, Uthman ibn Affan funded thousands of camels and kept pouring gold in the lap of the Prophet ﷺ. And people came with a lot of money. Abu Bakr came with all his money. And he said to him, what have you left for your family? He said, Allah and his messenger. Umar ibn Khattab came with half his money. So you need to go to war, you need immediate money. You raise the money from the rich, from everybody. You don't print money. You don't go and print money. You don't go and borrow money. Now, you keep borrowing money, and how will you pay it back? Will you default, like Lebanon now defaulted? They're not paying their loans. The dollar used to be 3 Lebanese pound. Now the dollar is 4,200 Lebanese pound. From 3 to 4,200. The American will not default because they keep printing dollar. And because the dollar is spread everywhere on the globe, they keep the value of it. But comparing the dollar to assets, it goes down. Comparing the dollar to the gold, it's going down. Comparing the dollar to even the share values, it's coming down. Share values going up because people are buying shares instead of keeping dollars. There's no way outside paying Zakat. The country who pays Zakat, they will not be losing the value of their money. They will not need to borrow money from abroad. They will not need to print money. Obviously, they will not need to charge interest. They probably will not need to raise tax or put tax. There was nothing called tax at the time of the Prophet ﷺ and the Khulafa. Kharaj started the time of Umayyin, Abbasiyin, which is similar to the tax. So Zakah will not force any government to raise taxes, raise interest, reduce services, or borrow money. The country which borrow money becomes slave to the lender. So if any today learn from this 15 minutes reminder, if you don't pay your zakah, you will be destroying the economy of the country. All of us will lose out. This is why the punishment of Allah Azza wa Jalla in the Day of Judgment is severe. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, إن الذين يكنزون الذهب والفضة ولا ينفقونها في سبيل الله فبشرهم بعذاب أليم يوم يحمى عليها في نار جهنم فتكوى بها جباههم وجلودهم وظهورهم هذا ما كنزتم بأنفسكم فذوقوا ما كنتم تكنزون. Those who store the gold and silver and they do not spend it for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla, pay zakat out of it, it will be heated in the day of judgment, in the mahshar, in the assembly, and their forehead and their back and their sides will be burned with it, and this is a punishment for what you've been storing. So taste the taste of the suffer you caused. So everyone, every poor who suffer, every needy who suffer, every disabled who suffer, every mentally ill who suffer, every child who suffers, every homeless suffer, the rich are responsible. The punishment will be to the rich. Who is the rich? Whoever had £4,000 last Ramadan, which is equal to 90 grams of gold, and still have £4,000 this Ramadan or more, and he does not give zakah. So you need to do zakah only on the amount of money you had last Ramadan. If you had 4,000 last Ramadan and you have 8,000 this Ramadan, you only pay for the 4,000. If you had 10,000 last Ramadan and you have 4,000 this Ramadan, you only pay for the 4,000. So you pay to the lower amount, whether it's last Ramadan or this Ramadan. So I say it again. If you had 4,000 or more last Ramadan, you have 10,000 now, you pay for the 4,000. If you had 10,000 last Ramadan and you have 4,000 this Ramadan, you pay for the 4,000 only. But if we all pay, look how many trillions owned in the world. Only in America, only 8 people own around 2 trillion among them. There's 2,532 billionaires. They own more than 50 trillion. Imagine they pay their zakat. No government will need to borrow money or print money. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. اللهم اجعل اجتماعنا هذا اجتماعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.